A former Bond girl from the Daniel Craig era addresses the idea of a female James Bond, saying you just have to respect the tradition. Ever since Daniel Craig's final portrayal in 2021's No Time to Die, the franchise's producers have been conducting an exhaustive search for the next James Bond, with Aaron Taylor-Johnson being the biggest betting favorite, while Jodie Comer has also emerged as a contender to become the first female Bond, though producer Barbara Broccoli is against the idea. Now, during a recent interview with The Times, Gemma Arterton addressed the idea of a female James Bond. The actress, who played the Bond girl Strawberry Fields in 2008's Quantum of Solace, was asked, "Isn't a female James Bond like Mary Poppins being played by a man?" She seemed to agree, saying, "People would find it too outrageous. Sometimes you just have to respect the tradition." Read her full response below. What Gemma Arterton's comments mean for a female James Bond. Why it's unlikely. Gemma Arterton's comments seem to capture the consensus opinion on a female James Bond. Many people would certainly find it outrageous, resulting in massive backlash against the Bond franchise. Arterton's remarks reflect the common skepticism toward a female Bond, suggesting that it would clash with the long-standing tradition dating back to the first James Bond movie, 1962's Dr. No starring Sean Connery, and even further back to Ian Fleming's first book from 1953. The question, comparing it to a man playing Mary Poppins, highlights this perceived incongruity. Arterton's acknowledgement of the ongoing discussion surrounding a female Bond demonstrates an awareness of shifting gender norms, but her stance, respecting tradition, aligns with a broader consensus resisting drastic changes to iconic characters. Arterton's own perplexity about her lingering association with her brief Bond role underscores the franchise's cultural grip and the immense weight of its traditions. Whether the next Bond will uphold this tradition or embrace a bold new direction remains to be seen. Our take on a female James Bond. Why it could happen. 10 reasons a female James Bond would work for Bond 26. While the time for the first female James Bond seems long overdue, it seemingly won't happen for the foreseeable future. Producer Barbara Broccoli, who wields tremendous power over the franchise, is firmly against the idea, bluntly stating, "I don't think a woman should play James Bond." However, James Bond has always changed with the times, so perhaps, Broccoli and the public opinion of a female Bond will shift in the near future. Who will be the next James Bond actor? Aaron Taylor-Johnson or Paul Mescal? Ever since No Time to Die was released in 2021, the franchise's producers have been conducting a highly secretive search for the next James Bond actor. Over the years, the betting odds have changed drastically. Fan-favorite choices such as Henry Cavill, Idris Elba, and Tom Hardy were once betting favorites, though their names have now been essentially eliminated from contention for various reasons, such as their age, busy schedules, or personal stances. Aaron Taylor-Johnson has long been regarded as the front-runner for the next James Bond. In the most recent betting odds, which have Taylor-Johnson as the most likely candidate at 1-1/50% odds, Paul Mescal has also emerged as a strong contender for the role with 2-1/33.3% odds. Other actors who are current betting favorites include Theo James, James Norton, Callum Turner, Lucien Laviscount, and Jack Lowden. Check out the full list of betting favorites below. Mescal was seemingly catapulted into contention for James Bond after his leading role as Lucius in Gladiator II, which has currently made over $370 million at the box office and counting, showing that the Emmy and Oscar-nominated actor is capable of leading a big-budget action blockbuster. This bodes well for his chances of becoming the next Bond. However, Aaron Taylor-Johnson also has a role in a potential blockbuster coming up in Kraven the Hunter, releasing in theaters on December 13th. If it sees similar success, Taylor-Johnson could pull away even further in the betting odds. However, if Kraven the Hunter ends up bombing at the box office, as past Sony Spider-Man Universe movies, Morbius and Madam Web have, and its current 16% Rotten Tomatoes score might suggest, Taylor-Johnson could tank in the betting odds, allowing Mescal to overtake him. Aside from the betting odds, it's unclear if Taylor-Johnson or Mescal are being seriously considered for the role, but with the recent releases of Gladiator II and Kraven the Hunter, and if the betting odds are to be believed, both should be considered serious contenders for James Bond to keep an eye on.